So we just checked out a recent blockbuster. What did we see?
Mad Max Thunder Road.
Mad Max Thunder Road. Whoa, whoa, whoa. The fourth entry in the Mad Max film series. Bit of context. I watched Mad Max The Road Warrior, the second one, when I was a kid. I haven't seen any of the other ones. I haven't seen it for ages, so I have no real knowledge of the Mad Max films. Apart from I know the basic premise, there's a guy called Max, wife and kids die, it's post-apocalyptic, boom. How many Mad Max films have you seen, Chris?
Zero.
Zero.
I knew it was a post-apocalyptic thing, I knew Mel Gibson was in it. And yeah, that's it.
Yep.
I know they are hugely instrumental in like the history of Australian cinema.
Yep.
Particularly Australian cult cinema.
Yep. Hugely influential on the look of the steampunk genre and also of post-apocalypse. It was like everyone in the old films used to wear nothing but leather. So obviously leather you would assume would be something that would like after an apocalypse, because it's quite hard substance.
Yeah.
Especially in Australia, which is so warm, you might want to wear leather if you wanted to burn to death.
And I can see where Fallout 3 got a lot of its influences from.
Yeah. Yes, so that's what we're coming from. Influences more than the actual work itself.
We've got no personal attachment to the series. I certainly don't. So
going in as a new... It basically is a new series.
Yeah.
It's got same setting. So basically the premise of Mad Max Thunder Road is that Max is a guy who gets kidnapped right at the beginning. He gets beaten up. They are harvesting his blood to... Oh my god, it's such a confusing film to actually summarise, isn't it? Yeah, ignore that. That was quite... Yeah, so try and do better than that.
So Mad Max is walking around doing his thing, just surviving, when he is knocked out by a group of kind of... I'm just going to call them wastelanders, like if knocked out by a few wastelanders, and taken to the domain of this evil warlord who has like a breathing apparatus. And basically he is almost like a god to these people. He has control over the water supply and he rules with an iron fist. And Mad Max is basically imprisoned in this dominion. He stages an escape when Charlize Theron essentially betrays the warlord by taking his wives. Basically the wives have had nothing, remember, just want to get out. So Charlize Theron organises like an escape to get the women out of the evil warlord's dominion. And at the same time, Mad Max manages to break out, and through some tension, he ends up allying with them to try and help them escape. And that's pretty much the rest of the film. Yeah,
so I was just going to say, so there are no spoilers there. I thought it'd be a good idea to review this and then have a little bit about the ending, spoiler stuff. So this review, we won't really discuss the ending or more general stuff, and then we'll do like a little short 5 minutes or so on the filming. And the ending and stuff,
Yeah, well, we'll put like a watermark up or something just to say like spoilers from...
Yes.
From this point, spoilers, and then we'll go from there. Yeah.
So, Mad Max is coming out a good 2 decades after the last one, the apparently not very good Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome with Tina Turner. What did you think of Mad Max Fury Road?
No, I loved it.
It was a great film.
I thoroughly enjoyed it. It's got a kind of bizarre, weird kinetic energy, and it almost feels like the film that was in my head when I was a 14-year-old boy.
Yeah.
It's like everything I could possibly want from a film as like a 14-year-old boy. So I love to have been that age to see this film.
Yeah.
But it feels like it comes. We were discussing, because again I don't know much about the series, but you can tell that George Miller has been working. He's clearly been working towards making this film his vision. Yeah. Like I was reading that from another review based on his experience with the Mad Max films, is that this one, it feels like all the visions, all the ideas he's ever had in his head. He's always been constricted by the budget, some special effects at the time. This Fury Road feels like he's finally matched the film he's had in his head for years. Yeah. The craziness and the kinetic energy and the action scenes and the designs of all the characters. The art design of this film was phenomenal.
It looks amazing, and it's full of incredibly weird sort of details.
Yeah. Like there's a weird bit where the evil warlord is like harvesting milk from the breasts of like presumably his old wives, and now they're just useless and fat and infertile.
Yes, so I believe you're meant to assume. So basically, The plot is that these women who he owns are trying to escape. So that's what he's doing, and there's a bit, about 20 minutes or so in, where he's getting breast milk from what's assumed to be the old wives. Yeah. He's allowed to get sort of overweight so he can milk them.
He can milk them, yeah.
Yes.
And another thing with these younger women is that they're all pregnant. Presumably, there must be a problem with trying to give birth to children in this wasteland, in this post-apocalyptic wasteland.
Well, I thought that the idea was just that he was picking the most attractive women and making sons from them. I think that was one of the reasons they wanted to escape, was because presumably they were being like raped by him to make these children. It was like a hellish existence where as soon as they gave a son, that was them gone. But I assumed it was more the fact that he just wanted the most attractive ones. You saw all those snaggle-toothed old women and the horrible like hunchbacked old men in the thing to give you a point of view of what most people were like.
Yeah,
so
all horrible and diseased. So they're all pregnant and they want out, basically.
Yes.
So the design in the film is absolutely phenomenal. All the road vehicles, like the trucks and the cars and the motorcycles, they're all brilliant. They're all like from the pencils of like, you know, old science fiction magazines, you know, like Heavy Metal or stuff, 2001 AD. Yeah. Stuff like that.
Yes.
I really enjoyed Tom Hardy as Mad Max.
He was great. He can grunt with the best of them.
Yeah, and he truly is Mad Max.
Yes.
I didn't quite know where he got his moniker from, but like he's just insane. He's as crazy as any of the others.
Yeah.
You know, he mumbles and he kind of like twitches like.
Yeah.
So
he barely talks throughout the film.
Yeah.
Yes, it is a film where, you were saying this as we walked out, it's a film where you don't need to have any dialogue to understand what's going on.
Yeah, it's all visual. You can follow the story without the dialogue, which is really good.
One of the strengths of Tom Hardy's performances is he has a very, very soulful sort of face.
Yeah.
You can sort of just tell what he's thinking and how insane he is just from looking at him.
Yeah.
Which is obviously, for a film like this where he has to portray an insane crazy. Without a lot of dialogue, it's very good.
It's quite impressive.
Yes, so they need an actor like that. He's probably better in the role than Mel Gibson even.
Probably, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Especially Mel Gibson now. They actually wanted to make the film in like 2001 with Mel Gibson in, and it wouldn't have been anywhere near as good, because especially late era Mel Gibson, he's not Tom Hardy.
He's got a bit crazy.
Yeah, well that's why they had to cancel it, because of his craziness.
Charlize Theron is also in the film.
She's very, very good.
Yeah, but the last Charlize Theron performance I saw was in Prometheus. One of my all-time favourite films.
Yeah.
Charlize Theron was really great in this. I'd even almost call this a feminist action blockbuster.
It was sort of feminist. All the sort of more kick-ass moments were by women.
Yeah.
And the men in it were they were all the villains, or they were sort of pathetic.
Yeah.
Yes.
But like, it wasn't even like, you know, an easy trap to fall in with writing action female heroines. It's just to write them as guys without dicks.
That's true, I didn't do that.
But yeah, Charlize Theron character was not like that. She had a backstory, she had personality. She wasn't just, I'm a tough lady.
Yeah.
She had like an actual sense of justice.
The worst part of that is where films go like, stop your bitching, and it's a woman saying it, so you're meant to be like, oh my god,
the woman said it. Yeah. Like, you know that new game, The Order 1886?
Oh yeah.
They all fall into like cliches apparently. And then there's Tough Lady, and she's like, if you want to keep on talking about your dick, please continue on. It's like, oh god.
Oh god.
But Charlize Theron unfortunately does not fall into that trap in the film. The character is. But the film doesn't dwell much on character development, but the scenes that she does have are fine. Like they make her into at least an interesting character. And then at the end of the film, there's almost like there's like a female colony that they come across and find.
Yeah.
So it's an almost feminist action film. It's not quite.
Well, I just think that's not what it's trying to be.
It's always trying to be.
So I don't think it would have been anyway, because I think you would have to try to be a proper one. But there is that an element of that.
There's an element of it which I respected.
Yeah.
I mean, like, obviously the big thing to talk about in the film are the action scenes.
Yes.
And they are brilliantly staged.
They are.
There's such a kinetic energy, and I've not seen explosions that good in a film in ages. And barely any CGI. Yeah. The only CGI I use is just to kind of extend the backgrounds and some of the scenes where they didn't want the actors standing on top of trucks, you know, and so the CGI is only used to kind of expand certain scenes, and where it is used, it's used more for like style.
Yeah.
Over like just being lazy. You were saying this felt like it was one of the best cinema experiences you've had in a while.
Yep.
I totally agree. It's really panoramic and huge
and loud.
And loud. It was fucking loud.
It was very loud. So it really gave you the feeling of being inside sort of one of these huge trucks.
Yeah.
It was so loud and like all the dialogue was shouted and you could still barely hear it.
Yeah.
Like that one. Yeah.
And there's lots of great like weird cameos from like lots of weird Australian and New Zealand characters. Like you know that fat one.
Oh yeah.
He's I think like a.
He's Tony Abbott.
Yeah, Tony Abbott. But he's like a weird like Australian actor, and he's actually in Lord of the Rings. That's how I recognised him. He plays like a fat orc in Return of the King.
Yeah.
And I was like, I recognise him from somewhere. Oh yeah. And you know the guy that goes blind.
Oh, that's great, Bill.
Yeah, that's a great bit.
Yeah.
But I think he's from the original. I think he's from the original Mad Max series.
I know that the main bad guy is from the original main.
Oh really?
Mad Max. Yeah, apparently he's the same guy. That's why he's so heavily made up. Because he's the same guy, and obviously they can.
They don't want people to recognise or get confused.
Well, they don't want him to, because he'd be really old now.
That would be.
That was made in '79, and he wouldn't be very imposing, like a 70-year-old guy.
No, but he is really like. Yes. The actual character is really designed. Like he's got like all boils and stuff, but he covers it up with like this bodysuit armor. There's like see-through bodysuit armor, like all the medals on and stuff, and all of it is presumably like painted himself, and those are like really weird like. Yeah. Dwarf guy and
that was weird. Yeah,
that was weird.
There's loads and like there's an amazing bit early on where they release because basically he's holding water and that's how he can sort of control everyone. And he releases a little bit of water. The crowd disperse and they're all doing this, and then he stops the water and everyone's fighting over it.
Yeah.
It's great. That's how you direct big crowd scenes.
Yeah, absolutely.
You show it from the top, so you got a good sense of geography. Then you go down underneath. You keep cutting from the top and the bottom, so you can understand both bits.
Yeah.
It's great.
There's a real sense of geography to the scenes.
That's what I was going to say, the action scenes especially.
Yeah, I understood where everybody was in relation to like the rest of the characters.
Yeah.
And Nicholas Hoult is in the film as well.
Yeah, he's what it also does, which is great, that all good action films do, is sets things up in the first half that pay off in the second.
Oh yeah, I noticed that. Like they have a thing where like they have the clippers. Yeah, and they have them back to free the women from their bonds, from their chastity belts, basically. Yeah. And then they use it to free Mad Max from his chains. And then later on in the film, they reuse the clippers to uncouple the harpoons that are being fired to hold the truck back.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of things like that which people just don't bother with these days in films.
And there are even bits that look at first like they're just sort of crazy action, crazy bits, and then they come back. Like there's a great bit. There's like a great design where a character is on they're like strapped to some speakers and they have a guitar.
Oh, that's awesome! That shoots fire.
Yeah. And it's like for some reason the bad guy travels with a travelling rock band.
Well, I think it's like
it's meant to be like military drums, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like an old military warfare. They play like drums to like scare like their enemies, but like in this case they have like a set of 6 drums at the back of this van with like a guy playing a double-decked electric guitar which shoots flamethrowers, and that just be like the coolest image ever. But then that comes into play later
because he fights the guy on the guitar thing and So spoilers from now on because it's to the end of that point. Yeah. Nothing too bad so far going forwards. Yeah. But he sort of his thing shoots fire and then Mad Max fights him and uses his flaming guitar against him.
Yeah.
Great.
It's just great little payoffs and setups and it's stuff that quality filmmaking's made of. It's a quality film. It's absolute trash, but it's quality.
Yes.
It's quality trash.